All right. Hello and welcome to Science Sunday. I am your host Annie Wilson, and yeah, I have co-hosts. Their names are Tinker and Pup. Tinker is on screen right now. She's like, I heard the name and I see the Cheerios. So, cheers, subs. Shut up, phone. Let me just take care of that. Cheers, subs, follows, anything. In fact, I saw a follow pop up. They generate Cheerios for the dogs. Make it rain. And the dogs love it. So, yeah, I had people in the chat asking, how are you able to run ads? Because yes, we can run ads now. Twitch changed their thing to allow partners. No, we're not a partner. We're an affiliate. We're an affiliate of Twitch, and they changed their thing to allow affiliates to run ads on demand. And the income is very, very, very low. But from what I read, it is running a 30-second ad allows people that tune into the live stream within like 10 minutes of that running that ad to not get a pre-roll. So that's part of the reason why I'm running the ads. I run them during the rocket video, so if you're subscribed, you won't see the ad. You'll just see the rockets. If you aren't subscribed, then you get rockets. I'm sorry, but we are running essentially on donations and what little bits of money we can scrape together because we don't have a grant. So I appreciate your patience with all of this, and yeah, it makes me feel dirty running the ads. Okay. So hello, Bad Panda Bear. Hello, The Time Path. Hello, Larry. Hello, Paranor. So, yeah, yeah, I guess it's time to get at it, shall we? Tinker's not sitting, but Kevlar gave bits. And make it rain! Oh, and the other thing we're doing for 100 bits. I'm so glad I have coffee nearby. I have these terrible, and I do mean terrible, Bean Boozled jelly beans. Wayne Johnson, too. Oh my. Hello, Broken Symmetry. More bits for the dogs! Make it rain! I do have these terrible, terrible jelly beans, and if you don't know what Bean Boozled jelly beans are, there are 10 different colors in a box, but potentially 20 different flavors. Each color can be a good or a bad flavor. So, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be strawberry banana smoothie or peach. And the bad flavors that go with them are dead fish and barf. All right, jelly bean number 1. Not a good one. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, so it was bad jelly bean number 1. All right, so jelly bean number 2, please be better. Ugh. I'm not sure what you're supposed to be, jelly bean. I think this is supposed to be either birthday cake or dirty dishwater. This might be a good one. I don't know if it was dead fish or barf. I just know it tasted bad. And we got a good one. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. So we're 50-50 so far today. Do not be afraid of cheering, because the more I eat these, the faster they go away, because I'm never doing this again. Just don't barf in microgravity. Actually, yeah. But what twisted mind comes up with this? Comes up with the idea of me eating these for bits? Or comes up with the idea for creating these? I don't know. And make it rain! All right, Wayne. All right. All right, so this is going to be either booger or juicy pear. Not juicy pear. Come on. Oh, okay. There we go. Who came up with the jelly beans in the first place? I have no idea. It's terrible though, isn't it? Booger? Yeah, it was Booger. Booger? I don't know. Anyways, alright, let me rearrange all my windows here. I guess we can start the music back up, huh? There we go. Now we'll let the music play. Alright, so this, now that I have chat, where I can see it, so this is what we, pick your nose to compare. No. This is what we left off with last time, and this is what we had from the week before. So the first thing I'm going to do is just save this as today's date, because I do sequential saves. And it's going to take a second. I probably should have done this before I started. But yeah, things and stuff and things. So yeah, before we got started, we were talking about how kids get to school, and it is quite fascinating how kids all over the world get to school. It really is. You know, some people walk, some people take public transit, some people drive, some people are driven, some people bike, steam train, all that other fun stuff. Okay. Yeah, some people don't go out at all, says Parador. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is make this thing... Overall, it's very pretty, right? But it is also very red. Very red. And I think the first thing we're going to do is play around with levels. And I know you guys can't see actually turn off all these other layers. I know you guys can't see the pop-up windows. That's simply because I'm doing a window capture instead of screen capture. But I have my little levels dialog up, and I am going to select a black point, and then I'm going to select a white point, which turned out to be way too white. So we'll just kind of reset. We have reset. I know, Tinker, I hear you. Took the city bus to college for your first 2 years. I had, because we moved while I was in high school, I had to drive. We didn't live in the school district that I was attending school in. This is something that can happen in the US, but typically it's not a thing. Yeah, you know what? I think we'll just knock that down so there's no more white showing. I think that's good, because all these will layer up, and I did just want it to make less white. But yeah, where my parents ended up moving while I was in high school, I had to drive everywhere, and I hated it. So Larry says, I wish I could have homeschooled my younglings. It was illegal at the time. Yeah. I went to public school, so, I mean, I am all for, you know, public school. I'm all for private school, too, if you can afford it, but usually it's just very unaffordable. So what a lot of folks do here, actually, I think that orange is okay. I think the orange is okay. We're not going to futz with the orange. Kind of a weird way to get around, like if you live, for example, I live in a bad school district. I don't care. Hey, Veronica. Yes, Paranor brings up a good point. Private schools that teach standards in education, not other private schools. So there are charter schools here, which charter schools can be anything from kids sitting down and doing everything on a computer with someone who is not an educated teacher nearby. They just have an undergraduate degree. Yes, this is real stuff in Ohio. Or it can be like a Catholic school. So, yeah, I would much rather, Catholic schools are cost money and have tuition. The charter schools are free. and they're meant to be an alternative to the bad schools in the area. Well, you know, sometimes you just can't help that. How do I... Nope, not that way. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's cool. I forgot I could do that. Yeah, other religious schools. I just know that in my area, the Catholic schools have a good reputation. Yeah, I'm pressing Alt, and this is what I see. I accidentally pressed Alt, and this is what I see. So I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. It's actually kind of helping. We might have to go back and do this on others, because it shows everything. Let me turn on the other layers so we can see how it looks all together. So, it does have a Pac-Man vibe. Alright, so I'm going to turn off the gray, or green. I'm going to turn off the red. It might help if I had the... I don't know what I was doing. Ah, that's what I had to have the the sample an image to set black point. Press Alt to display clipping preview. Okay. That's actually really cool. Oof. Yeah, Larry, that is inappropriate for public school. I would expect that in a private school. I do understand that if you do send kids to Catholic school, that you do have to expect some amount of religious teaching. But there's a difference between teaching and indoctrination, and that's all I really want to say about that. Having choices is important, and you know, I'm sure some parents were either, okay, this is not quite what we believe, but we know you'll get a good education here. Be like, great, do it. And I'm sure there are other schools where it's like way different. So I can't speak to all schools, but yeah. Anyways, that is actually really cool that you can see the clipping. So smooth that out. Oh, I did not know that Catholic schools in Canada were publicly funded. That is a whole different can of worms. It is definitely a whole different can of worms. Oh, in Ontario. Okay, I should clarify that's only in Ontario. Anyway, so, I guess I'm going to just steer the conversation totally away from education and schools and funding. And, yeah, so I have been working on the... Yeah, we're gonna do this. So we're gonna adjust this some more. I have been working on setting up the celebration stream for Bennu. I did not forget about you guys. Bits! Hey, Econ Greg! I know what you're after. And bits for the dogs! And more bits for the dogs. That's three... That's three jelly beans. I mean, that's one way to change the conversation. Alright. I'm glad you guys are being less shy about this because the box is slowly disappearing. Alright. So this is either Juicy Pear or Booger. Not Juicy Pear. Oof. Okay. This one is either dirty dishwasher or birthday cake. Oh, I have the champagne jelly beans nearby, trust me. This is not birthday cake. Ooh, I'm running out of coffee too. That might prove difficult. Yeah. All right. And then this one is either rotten egg or buttered popcorn. Buttered popcorn. All right. Cool. 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 So we've had 2 good ones out of I don't know how many. It's not been 50-50. And yes, I have champagne jelly beans. They're a whole separate bag. Oh, you're welcome, Larry. You're welcome. Larry, 5 out of 6, not bad. I've had 2 good ones so far, Econ. Larry, the certificate of appreciation that Larry and Astro Wise are talking about is the certificate of appreciation for completing or for doing Bennu. And yeah, those, I thought they were going to take me forever to mail out, and it actually got quicker the higher up I got. And I thought it would take me a month, and it took me a little over a week. So, oh, in Canada to Kim too. Good. I used, I downloaded, some people are like, because I've gotten people that are like, well, I already submitted a form with my address and my name, why doesn't my certificate have my name on it? I already told you my name. That's because I pulled all of the data from the database. So whatever name you registered with for Bennu mappers is the name that's in the database. And it is much easier for me to just be like, okay, it's this one, this one, this one. Yes, the quicker, hey Joe. But yeah, so like there's a couple where I've had to go back and redo the certificates. Oh my goodness, thank you, Rigel. Had to redo the certificates, which is not that big of a deal because I just worked with whatever I had. Oh my goodness, thank you. All right, so all the Cheerios. Tinker's excited too. And make it rain. And that was 2, 3, make it rain. Make it rain! Okay, I need to refill the Cheerio container. Alright, Cheerio container is refilled. And make it rain! And make it rain! Alright, that'll keep them busy for a bit. And put that back. All right, cool. So, whew, thank you. Thank you so much for all those gift subs. You are amazing. Yes, it was a lot of dings and it was a lot of Cheerios, and my dogs are very happy. I know they're not wagging their tails, but trust me, they're happy. And yeah, the as far as the certificates go, it ended up kind of being like a pyramid, where most people did 10 or fewer images, and very few people did, comparatively, a small percentage did more than 10, and even a smaller percentage of more than 50, more than 100, da-da-da-da-da. And I was thinking, okay, I'll just send these out in, like, groups of 100. And it's just wild. It's just wild. But it went rather quickly, which made me happy. Anyways, so I'm happy with that. We've got the red mostly where we want it. The white, that's kind of tricky. because I don't want the big white spots. So this red has been turned down a lot. Maybe I can just adjust the... No. I'm adjusting the output levels, and I'm trying to get rid of the white spots. So we'll try that. Turn on all these other layers. Hey, that's a whole lot less red. That looks way better. I do see the histogram, and I am kind of going by feel. Once upon a time, a really long time ago, I did have a class in Photoshop, but that was probably close to 15 years ago. I'm not joking. So I have a little histogram in the levels properties. I have a bigger histogram over on the side, but yeah, I'm just kind of going by, I don't want things to be too bright. I don't want things to be, okay, we know orange is good, so we're gonna leave orange alone. I know I don't want to, things. Stegan S, isn't most of these based on artistic flair? Yes and no. So all the data does come down in grayscale, and all I have done is, in fact, let me pull up, this is what it looks like when it's stacked and pulled down from the telescope. Each one of these layers is just grayscale, and I didn't do a whole lot of adjusting on them like I should have. And each one of these layers is from a different filter, which captured different wavelengths of light. So the 435 wide looks vastly different from the 814 wide, for example. And then the narrow band, the 658 narrow band, captured just a teeny bit of light. And we also have a medium band in this, which captured a decent amount, but still not a whole lot. So when you stack them all together, you get all of those wavelengths put back together. And yes, I got different color channels for the wavelengths, and you can kind of see this over here. Like right now I'm working on the green layer. I also have a blue, turn that back on. I have an orange, and I have a red. And yeah, and I try to go with what wavelengths that are captured in the filter match up with what our eye can see. The problem is that 814 is, it's okay, Paranor, 814 is probably in infrared, and 658 is either in orange or in red. So yeah, all of these are on artistic flair. All of these are just like artistic decisions, and yeah, that's kind of the beauty. You can make some things highlighted, you can kind of dampen things down. Let me open up what we finished with last week. That's going to take a second. So this is what we finished with last week. See how it's very, very red? And this is what I got so far, and how I've tuned down that red a bit. Same amount, you know, I've mostly just sat and played with the levels. I'm trying to get this black to be more black, and I haven't done that for all the layers yet. So it's ended up to be more purple. I can change this later. Like I'm sure I can turn the red back up in the levels and make it more red. But right now I'm actually, let me just leave that like that, and let me finish adjusting all the other layers. Because I don't want it to be all red, because there's 4 colors in here. There should be more than, it should be more than just red. But, and you can't see some of it, but if I turn off like the narrow band, it's, you know, it takes away some highlights. Sagan says there are actual photographic evidence for how the final could appear, so it's not an unrealistic approach. Correct. That's how I do it. There is something called the Hubble palette. I don't think I use it. you can essentially assign whatever color you want to whatever. When some people are trying to look at, okay, this part is hydrogen, this part is all this other stuff, it can be whatever. But yeah, I'm trying to get it as close as to what it might appear like to our eyes. And even if I don't get it exactly right, it's still pretty. And there's a whole lot of science in these images, and you know, these weren't taken originally to be pretty images like all over our walls and wallpapers and, you know, desktop backgrounds and things like this. These were meant to be for science, and it just so happens that we can take the science and make it pretty, which is one of the things I like about doing the Hubble images. So, Veronica Cure asks, is this similar? Is this how or similar to how the professionals do it? This is very similar to how the professionals do it. When I started doing this, I would follow tutorials. And actually, when I started doing this, I was using GIMP. GIMP is not the industry standard for doing this. Photoshop is. So, so yeah, this is indeed how the professionals do it, so to speak. Okay, so we know red's good, we know orange is good, so when we turn off blue, and let's look at green. And I think we clipped green. We did. The turtle moves. I know, right? No, no, no. That was too much. There we go. And it looks like right over here should be black, and it is. So I'm just looking for the spots around it that should be black, and it looks like all the spots that should be black are black, which is good. It's very good. Pac-Man mask. It is. Oh my goodness. Nope, nope, nope. That's not what I wanted. There we go. That's a little bit better, I think. Because there is going to be some gas. This might be from an interacting galaxy. Stegan asks, are you going for a 100% black background? Kind of. I still have to do the blue yet. And I feel like I'm already, like on this one, you can definitely tell that there's an edge. And I think so far, if I layer everything up, I think once I do the blue, I should get rid of that edge. I know there are other ways to do it, but I feel like doing the other stuff. Kerbal says, Econ Greg has a bunch of images he's captured on Google Drive that could be interesting to work with. And I think it's Fenmil? I think it's Fenmil. Somebody in the community has a bunch of astrophotography images too. And the process is a bit different. And I'm not opposed, but I'm also aware that I have definitely gotten comfortable with Hubble. Like, we've tried to do Spitzer, and I'm just like, I don't know what's happening for Spitzer. Oh, thanks for the host, Stegan. Tinker's whining for Cheerios anyways. Yeah, a gradient mask. I don't know if I've ever used a gradient mask. But that should do it. That should get rid of that edge. So let's stack all these back together. Alright, so it's still kind of pink. But we've got a whole lot more, detail in this, I feel. It also doesn't help that it's not the same size. There we go. Okay. So, This looks more crisp. You can see more of the interference here. You can't easily see a black edge, which makes me very happy. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Stegan asks, do your dogs get enough exercise to be eating Cheerios like that? Yes. Cheerios are actually a pretty low calorie dog treat. So compared to the other dog treats I could be throwing at them, but yeah, they're fine. They might just get a little less food tonight. Dachshunds are secretly hobbits. Veronica says, I think Spitzer has a different palate. It does, and I'm just not comfortable with Spitzer. What I probably should do is document all the steps I do for Hubble, and then go through and be like all the other. So Stegan says, I thought they were packed with sugar. Cheerios? No, plain Cheerios don't have a lot of sugar in them. In fact, I think I have the box handy. Plain Cheerios are not sugar cereal. They have, where's the sugar? They have like 1 gram of sugar. So, yeah. It's not that bad. A serving size is a cup, and 1 cup has 100 calories. So it's pretty right. Somebody else is saying regular Cheerios have a lot of fiber. I'm looking for the fiber. Dietary fiber, they have 3 grams. So it's 11%. So there's a lot of fiber. In general, they're pretty decent for you. I mean, they do add sugar, but it's not a lot of sugar. Like, compared to, I don't know, the all-berry cereal I have in my kitchen. The all-berry cereal I have in my kitchen is definitely sugar cereal, and my dogs aren't getting that. DPI says, we had a time zone change today. Yeah. And yeah, it does not take much to derail me. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Do the doggos get a lot of fiber? Whatever fiber they get is between their dog food and the Cheerios. So, I think they get enough fiber. Alright, so this is still too red for me. So, what we're gonna do is go back to the red layer, red levels, and we're just gonna, I don't want to desaturate it that much. Need, I asked about doggo need. Oh, need. I don't know. The easy part about the doggos is that they definitely, because they eat the same thing. Still saying red to me while applying lipstick. All right. They eat the same thing every day, so I trust that their food takes care of that. There's gotta be a way to bring out like some of the blue. You know what? This, I can probably flatten this and then play with the colors. I don't know what happens, but I'm thinking if I flatten the image, let me save it is how it is. If I save a new version as a flattened version and then play with the colors, that takes care of a lot of stuff. I just have to wait for, oh wait. More fire, oh wait, wrong show, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't have fire. I don't have fire. Tinker. Tinker's like, no, I will bark. Are you serious? Are you done barking? They might be done barking. All right, so we've saved it how it is, and now we're going to do all of this and merge layers. Actually, let me do it one by one. Oh, I know what happened. Okay. So when I did that, it got rid of the other thing. So we're setting everything back to screen. Okay. Tinker does have us all very well trained. It's kind of scary. Alright, give me a second to save this as semi-flattened. She does want souls. I can't even see her in the camera right now. Tinker, can you sit? Because if you sit, you get more treats. She hasn't quite figured this out yet. Like, sometimes she does, and sometimes she's like, no. No, Mom. Alright. I'm going to... I don't know what the difference is between flattening and merging, but that's what we did. Alright. I'm going to save this again as flattened. Did she sit? Oh, she is sitting. There you go, Tinker. Yeah, she's getting the hang of it. Finally. It only took a year. That's why, like, as soon as she sits, that's why I want to toss treats at her. Okay. Alright, so we've done all this. So now I guess it's time to play with curves or something. So we definitely want to bring out the blue. Look at me not know what I'm doing. Maybe I just want to bring down the red. Let's do that. There's got to be a way to auto do it. That's not what I wanted, Photoshop. Sadly, we can't see the panels on my screen. I know. It is literally because, I have, I'm doing a window capture instead of a screen capture. So, like, I'm aware you can't see the panels on my screen. I'm not happy about it. One of these days I'll have to fix my stuff. I just heard the cat. I think all the barking woke the cat up. It's like, I know you guys can see when I mess with things and see the result. I don't like this at all. Yes. I seem to like levels better. I clicked auto for levels and that's what happened. Brought out some detail to this operate. The cat wants Cheerios too. The cat probably wants fed again. Cat has hyperthyroidism and yeah, it's not been fun. Both human and veterinary healthcare have made it so we live way longer than, you know, most people ever thought we would. And I'm like, cat, 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 cat. my phone is ringing. That's nice. I don't know. Light and shadows. I'm going through the presets right now. Yeah, he's a pretty cool cat. He's just really sick, and it's hard. He's just really sick and it's hard. I just don't like how red it is. Why do you have to be so red? Why can't you be like more blue or something? Maybe, maybe, maybe. I don't know. It's not red. But did I lose stuff in the process? What do y'all think? Alright, I got 2 votes for it looks good. Time Pass says it's more realistic. Yeah, it's not as freaking red. For curiosity's sake, what is this? 4038? NGC 4038? No. NGC, yeah, NGC 4038. So NGC 4038. I'm gonna pull up and see. Alright, that's a cheating image because that has way more stuff on it. This has more. Alright, so this is, I don't know what they did. And I definitely got rid of a whole lot of dust. So this is trying to get to I don't know what filters they used on what. I'm going to post the link in chat and I'm going to... Yeah, the fade to color to black is very sudden. So the cool thing is I can go back and kind of undo all of that. Not on that one. We're opening up the old one. I hear you, buddy. I think the cat's gonna demand a break soon. That looks really good. Excuse me while I save it as realistic. Because the scratch discs are full. Let me close all the other ones then. Oops, not that. Open recent. Oh, it's still saving. No, I think it might be the same. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, the official image does have more of a dust halo and more background stars. Maybe I cut too much stuff out? Alright, now that it's done saving, I don't think the cat's going to make an appearance. I know, I hear you. She is suffering. Oh my goodness. Listen to all the stories she's telling. That doesn't look bad either. It doesn't look painfully red like the other ones did. Yeah, she'll tell you all sorts of stories. And then there were Cheerios, and then there were none. Yes. This is the story of her life. If you let her, she will definitely tell you she suffers. Alright, I think I'm going to stop touching. After I do that. I think I'm going to stop touching. I don't know how they got this particular image, the official image. I can see blues, I can see, the only thing I think they may have done, I think they used different colors. Because I think they used bright pink for this particular filter. And like that would make sense. And then they used blue for something else. I don't think they used the same colors I did. I think they used different colors. Because that's the only way I can figure that they got that the highlight bit to hang out is that much is by changing the colors. Hey, Rocket Sage! Could you be persuaded to share the PSD of the work? I would love to tinker with it, says Sagan. I'm not sure how I could share the PSD. I am definitely going to save this before I futz with it anymore. I have thought about making this a kind of a play along at home thing, but I'm not sure where I would save the or where I would put the PSD to where you could download it. Like, I'm not sure if I could upload it to like a Google Drive and just be like, here, just download it from this link. I mean, I know there's space in my work Google Drive. Tinkerbell, you are crying as if there's no tomorrow. Alright. So I am tempted. Yeah, I could use Dropbox too. I probably will just use Drive. Where's my post-it notes? Alright, I'm making a post-it for it. Post PSD on Google Drive. Drive to share. How big is the PSD? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Let me look right now. Discord, it might be too big for Discord, Kerbal. I know I've talked about playing around with the idea of sending out the finished images to Patreons, or to patrons on our Patreon. Hold on, I'm trying to multitask and sometimes it's not very successful. Okay, so where did I save this? And today it is 354 megabytes, I think. Yeah, it's 354 megabytes. Flattened is a little less. Semi-flattened is a little less, but it is 354 megabytes. Veronica says, I should look for a shareware Photoshop-ish program. Get GIMP. Get GIMP. It's open source, it's free. It is tricky to learn. The community is not as big as Photoshop, but but it's free and you can do most things with it. Yeah, like I personally don't want to use GIMP, but I can also afford to pay for Photoshop, and I realize that that's kind of a thing. And even if I couldn't pay for Photoshop, I think Dr. Pamela would make sure I have access to Photoshop. So yeah. But I have a computer that can run Photoshop, so that's what we're gonna do. For those of you that aren't aware, once upon a time, I had this poor box of a computer, and I don't remember how, but somehow it ended up crashing, like, terribly. And I ended up installing Linux on it, and I was running GIMP on Linux, and I was doing all of this on a Linux machine that was just stuttering along. And I think I did it like that for a while. Like, Cheers would make my computer freeze and break down. And then, yeah. So I built myself a new computer, because I am just that awesome. Alright, so I think all of these are saved, kind of. Tinker, what are you getting into? Treats aren't over there, Tinker. I still like that. I think that's my favorite version. I don't like it because of all the gradation right there. But I guess I still see it in this one too. So, I don't know. Alright. So I'm going to transfer over here and close Photoshop. And we are going to talk about other citizen science projects. And Bennu, and the Bennu party. So obviously the Bennu party did not happen this past weekend. I need to email Karina and see what time she's available. It is going to happen on a Saturday in the afternoon for me. And that was really, from everybody that did the survey, that was, from the time zones I plugged in, that was where there were the least amount of red blocks. And if you can't join us, I'm sorry. I hope you can join us. But yeah, so give me 1 second while I look at, because I made notes about other citizen science projects, because a lot of you have been, I want to do citizen science, you know, we're done with Bennu, now what? Well, it's been tricky because I've had a few criteria is, let me pull up Discord so I'm quoting myself correctly. And of course I don't have Discord open. Look at me. But I remember my criteria were small and didn't get a lot of press. So things like Zooniverse. I'm not sure if people know what SETI at Home is or Boink is anymore, but Zooniverse and SETI at Home have gotten a whole lot of press. So they don't really need our help. Another criteria was... Oh, Guido says, I would recommend Paint Shop Pro. It's not free, but it is $50 to $60 without subscription nonsense. All right, y'all, you heard it from Guido B. He says get Paint Shop Pro. What was for dinner, by the way? Since we forgot to ask before we got started. So yeah. Essentially small, needs help. Can be done exclusively online. Can be done by anyone in the world. Etc, etc, etc. Larry asked, does Moon Mapper still work? Yes, Moon Mapper still works. I am not as familiar with Moon Mapper as I am with Bennu mappers. I know right now we're collecting info on Moon Mappers to train AI. I don't know if this is just going to be ongoing. I don't know how much work is to be involved. I know that we're now, marking creators to train AI. And yes, Moon Mapper is rock free. All you're doing is circling craters, and it is amazing. It is very kind of relaxing. Bennu Mappers was in a crunch. That's why there was such a push for so long. I don't know how much longer. I don't know how much data is left to process in Moon Mappers, or how many more images we need. Until the AI can learn. Now that I have this open, I'm going to see if I can pull up the rest of my criteria. Multitasking is hard. So, okay, here are my criteria. And this is my message from Discord. So, citizen science projects can vary widely. Some, like Bennu Mappers, are on a time crunch and need a lot of people to do identification because humans are freaking awesome. Others are like games. A few actually want you to go into the outside world and collect data. There's transcription and volunteering, computer time, and a whole bunch of things and different things and subjects. The tricky bit I'm running into in finding citizen science projects to share with y'all is projects that meet the following criteria. Are small and haven't had a lot of press coverage exposure, so I'm not even considering Zooniverse projects. Zooniverse is its whole other thing. We're just not considering Zooniverse projects. Can be done by middle schoolers and up, anywhere in the world with access to a computer. Preferably doesn't require a lot of reading in English. Because we have a large international community and not everyone has strong English language skills. And 4 has a lot of work to be done. So, yeah. Larry asks, is Glacier's Mapper in the future still? As far as I know, yes. Because we're running on such a shoestring budget, getting new projects up is kind of difficult because it is. We need to be able to work on all these other things, and quite frankly, projects that pay are getting priority versus projects that, don't pay because we have bills to pay. And I know that's a bummer for you guys, but that's why I've been looking for all these other things. So one that I really liked, and I know a lot of you really wanted to do space projects, and I have found a couple space projects, but one that I found that I like involves fish. And seeing if I can find the thing. Yeah, the fish. So somewhere, let me get my screen all ready to share. Tinker's like, but I'm sitting, where are my Cheerios? There, have some Cheerios, Tinker. Alright, hide Photoshop, give me 1 second while there we go, perfect, I got it on the first try. So the one I'm looking for is fish. And this is from the Mystic River Watershed Association. And there are river herring that migrate up and down the Mystic River to the Mystic Lakes and to Horn Pond. And this is all in Massachusetts. So somewhere I had found, and like us, they're a 501c3 nonprofit, and they, I think, I'm trying to find it. So they've installed a camera that captures the pictures of the fish as they go by. They have some sponsors, but not a whole lot. And somewhere I had found how much data they had left to go. And they want to keep track of how the migration has changed over time. Somewhere I had found the data that they had left to go, and I can't find it now, of course. But there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Now I feel silly because I can't find the how much data they have left. But they have a decent amount of stuff that needs done. And yeah. Larry says, finish this first, moon. I will have to talk to Dr. Pamela to see how much work is left to be done on the moon. I just know that a lot of you have been like, we want more stuff to do. And I don't know what to do. So, give me 1 second. I'm trying to... Nope. I thought I had found a couple. But yeah, Mystic Herring was definitely one that had a whole lot of data to be processed, and I know that's something we can help with. Oh, it's gonna want us to watch a video first. Hey. Oh, here we go. Here's the current data. Here's the current data. So, here's what I was looking for, and I found it. So they have videos counted and videos remaining, and this is one of the things I really like about this project is we can easily see how much data is left, and we don't have to ask anybody any of this stuff, etc., etc. And they capture data from a very brief time period, only from like, what is this? April 16th to July 1st. So, Stegan says, I'm going through a tutorial for moon mappers and it's very strict with what's a crater and what's not. It's very misleading. All right, so give me a second and I'll pull up moon mappers and we'll look at that together because we're talking about it. So that's at CosmoQuest. And then this is what the CosmoQuest website looks like. Bennu, it doesn't work. Mercury is down or done. It might be down. Mars is down, so the only one available is Moon. I know, they're all four on the page. And you get a thing that says, let's map the moon. And here's the tutorial. So yeah, let's just go through the tutorial real quick. It wants you to erase a crater, and now it wants you to find a crater. So nice, we'll mark some craters in this image. Craters are circular holes in the ground with bright sunlight on one side and dark shadow on the other. And it says on the left, here we go. Here's some crater examples. If I'm rushing through this, it's because I've done this tutorial a gazillion times. And I'm like, I know what a crater looks like. But I realize that not all of you have done that. So you select the crater tool, click on one edge, click and drag to the other edge, boom. And then you can turn your marks on and off. And then when you're done, you click submit. So this is a light image, and I don't know, how far you've gotten in the tutorial, but you can't circle really small craters. Like, I'm not even sure if that's if I marked that one correctly. Like, these teeny tiny craters, if it's smaller than your pointer, you don't want to circle it. Close, but you're not. Center it to drag it. Drag the circle to move it. Really? How about that? Fine. We're just not marking that. And I know some of these you might not all be able to see. Like, the older craters are definitely harder to mark. How am I not centered right? Alright, we're not doing that one because you're just annoying. Journey started asks, why do they not tell you the direction of the sun? Those could be bumps. They used to show you that, and I don't remember why they took it away. I think they had decided it was too much information, or it didn't really matter. I can't remember. The tutorial is very picky, and sometimes craters can craters can look like bumps, and there is a way to kind of switch your eyeballs around to make it not look like that, but sometimes they look like hills, but still they have a dark side and a light side. All right, that one's too far on the edge. Tinkerbell. I caved. I don't remember how many. Oh, 8 craters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've marked 9. It should let me go on. Ta-da! And that is the tutorial. So somewhere, will it automatically do it? I don't think it'll automatically do it. Somewhere I have an account. So give me 1 second while I attempt to log in, which the website is basically saying, no, you can't log in. So I can't log in for whatever reason. I have it broken. Yeah. Another citizen science project somebody had mentioned to me in an email was called AstroQuest. So I haven't done this one at all. Yeah, I think it's just because my stuff isn't saved properly, Larry, because I use a password manager. AstroQuest is out of Australia. Again, kind of small. I didn't know about this one because I couldn't find it on like SciStarter or anything. So, yeah. And it wants you to register. Does it have oh wow, I'm actually kind of impressed that they actually have like non-binary and yeah. Select your drawing color. Okay. So this is a whole lot. I am not registered on this. I just know that it's a science one that's, you know, citizen science, small kind of thing. And yeah. Hey! Oh, online citizen science project undertaken by International Center for Radio Astronomy Research, WA. I don't know what WA stands for. In my head, that's Washington State. All right, later, Larry. So the training for this is watching a short video, and a tutorial, and yeah. So that's one of them. I'm just clicking over to see the people. Okay, I agree. University of Western Australia. See, this is why I don't assume. This is why I don't assume. But yeah. Western Australia. I would have never guessed Western Australia. What kind of work does AstroQuest need? AstroQuest needs, I think right now they're doing a Galaxy Explorer. It follows on from Galaxy Explorer. Citizen science help to locate galaxies from GAMA survey, as well as classify their shape. So here's a guide to AstroQuest. And there's a whole lot of words. I think we're correcting the computer. In a lot of cases, the computer algorithm gets it right, coloring the central galaxy in the image with one color and any overlapping objects in different colors. One thing we're asking you to do is inspect each galaxy and tell us when the computer got it right. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious, DPI. You're looking at images. It's radio astronomy, but you're looking at images. Radio astronomy just means they used radio waves to capture data, or they're looking at the radio wave spectrum. No, let me get this right. I'll get this right, because if I don't get this right, I will never hear the end of it. Radio, so there's that whole electromagnetic spectrum, right? And we have the visual spectrum, which is teeny tiny, like probably closer to, I don't know, like the lollipop stick of the entire spectrum. So, there are other wavelengths that our eyes can't perceive, but we can capture with instruments. And that's what's happening with radio astronomy. It's capturing wavelengths that our eyes can't perceive, but can be perceived by, can be captured by satellite dishes, sometimes whole arrays of them, and interpreted on a computer for our eyes to see. So I think that's a way better explanation than we're using radio waves to find stuff, because we're not sending out radio waves, we're receiving radio waves. And it's not, radio is typically something that you think of like hearing, but that's only one way to interpret those wavelengths. Does that make sense? I'm trying real hard to make sure this stuff makes sense to y'all. So yeah, for this one, you are literally correcting the computer. And I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Because we are trying to use AI to do a whole lot of stuff, because we have that power now. And this image that I have on screen is just, it's a bunch of women. And they are volunteers working on glass plates at Harvard. Because citizen astronomy, you know, citizen science, science done by people who aren't trained scientists, is a very old thing. It's just now, due to the internet and computers and things, it's easier to create worldwide networks of citizen scientists. So this isn't a new thing. It's old, it's just got a newer take to it. And women, quite frankly, were often blocked one way or another from participating in formal science, so they did a whole lot of informal science. Time Pass says, those ladies categorized many stars. Yes, they did. I could not remember what they're doing, but now that I look at the chart on the background and that comment has jogged my memory of, yes, they are categorizing stars. Many, many stars. A lot of work. A lot of work. Also, early botanists tended to be women because it wasn't seen as a real science. Not joking. Also, remember that physics were just parlor tricks for the longest time. Yeah. Anyway, so those are two of the citizen science projects we'll talk more about, and I'll be more prepared to talk about when we do have our Bennu celebration party. Time Path goes on to say they categorized stars by color and magnitude to size, distance, and how hot they are. Yes. That is absolutely correct, and it still amazes me that they were able to do all of that. They did a whole lot of work, and I don't think they ever got the recognition they deserve. So I'm very happy this image exists. Time Path, your English is fine. Your English is fine. And yes, as Veronica points out, women have been the ones to do actual work in science for many years. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. So, we are at 2:30. I bet you One Girl, Two Beakers is going. And I really don't have anything else to talk about. We did some science, or we colorized some images. Kind of caught you up with what's going to happen soonish for the Bennu celebration party. All the certificates have been emailed. If you haven't gotten a certificate, you need to drop me a message in Discord. You need to drop me a message here, something, because a whole lot of emails bounced. And I would like everybody to be able to get their certificate. So there is that. Veronica says, now getting credit, yay! Yes, we are finally, it took a while, but we are finally making sure that people that have done the work or made the discoveries are finally getting the credit, even if it isn't, Nobel Prizes. So, yeah, because did you know you can't award a Nobel Prize to someone that's dead? Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, I'm trying to think, and I can't think very well sometimes. Excuse me while I type. Is she not up yet? Or is she, you wanna know what? One Girl, Two Beakers is on vacation. I forgot about that. So I guess we aren't going to raid her because she's on vacation. Duh. Yeah, anybody have any suggestions for who to raid while I ramble off and do the ending and wall of text and all of that? Yes, everyone have a wonderful week. If you celebrate Halloween, I hope you enjoy it. Be safe. Be safe. Trying to think what else. Dr. WD40 is on. Okay. Bonsai Baby's streaming. Perfect. We can raid Bonsai Baby. Is Rocketology streaming? Oh, we have so many choices. We have so many choices. We really do. That's actually kind of cool. Costume streams. I will not be... Rocketology is doing Kerbal Space. What's Bonsai Baby doing? It just says makers and crafters. There will be... The news Daily Space will be done in costume for most of this week. I don't have any costumes handy, so I will probably just do spooky camera effects or something. It's just how it goes sometimes. I can't think of any other housekeeping things, so I guess it's time to just wrap up. This has been a production of PSI, that's Planetary Science Institute, located in Tucson, Arizona, working in collaboration with Youngstown State University here in Youngstown. I hope it's not terrible outside. Ohio. PSI is a 501c3 nonprofit, which is just fancy speak for your donations are tax deductible where the laws allow. Speaking of donations, we are brought to you by you. So seriously, thank you. Thank you for all of your subs, your bits, your pledges on Patreon, your merch purchases on Redbubble, your donations. Thank you for all of it, because it does pay mine and Susie's salaries, and Susie's sending 2 kids to college in the fall. We are right now funded almost exclusively on donations, so every little bit helps. We are going to have a hangout-a-thon in December, so stay tuned for that. If you can't afford to do any of that, first of all, we get it. We get it. We're not going to turn you away because you can't afford to hang with us. Follows are free, hanging out with us is free, chatting with us is free, joining our Discord is free. You can help us out by subbing to our YouTube channel. You can help us out by finding the Daily Space podcast and subscribing to that. There are ways you can help out without having to open up your wallet. So thank you for everything you all do. Thank you, because it is a lot. It is a lot. Y'all are amazing and have essentially kept me in a job for a year, which is awesome. Thank you so much. I can't think of anything else. I think that's all the things. Is that all the things? I think that's all the things. So, we stream Sunday through Friday. If you're new and you don't know this, we stream Sunday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Right now, that is 1700 hours UTC. That'll change soon. Oh, more bits! More bits! Puck's like, I heard that. And make it rain! Tinker's all under a blanket. More bits and more jelly beans. I'm gonna cheat and do a blue one, because I know the blue bad isn't that bad. Berry. Cool. The blueberry is really good. Yeah. So, I can't talk with a jelly bean in my mouth. There we go. Now I can talk, kind of. So yeah, thank you to everybody. If you missed an episode of any of this, they're all archived on YouTube. And I think that's all the things I need to say. It feels like a lot. Well, we are going to raid. We're gonna go ahead and raid Bonsai Baby. Because I am low-key hoping she's working on a Halloween thing. So I'm gonna roll the credits, we're gonna raid Bonsai Baby. And yeah. So wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful insert time of day here, and I will see you all soon. Bye!